today online, you kind of need to know a little of the history and the beginning. And I remember being excited about the fact that audio and video would play over the internet. And the first technology that allowed what's called streaming media. And streaming media is the fact that audio and video will broadcast over the internet. And the first plug-in was built by a company called Real Player, or Real.com, and that was back in April of 1995. And I've got to tell the quick story of what got me excited about streaming media. The ability, which really is just the words, that is the technology that lets television, audio and video broadcast over the internet as opposed to broadcasting over the airwaves with a television or radio transmitter. I remember Bill Gates was on the David Letterman show back around 97, 98, somewhere in there. And I remember David asked Bill Gates, he said, so what's the deal with this internet thing? Because it was so new. 98, the internet was really just a few years old and pretty much a mystery to everyone. And, you know, Bill Gates could have said anything. And I was watching the show live, and I thought, you know, what's he going to say about this internet thing? Because I was interested in it. And one of the things he said, he says, well, you know, Dave, you'll be able to hear your radio. You'll be able to hear radio stations over your computer. And, you know, David Letterman and his smart aleck form of comedy, he says, well, Bill, why don't you just listen to the radio on your radio? And that kind of was the aha moment for me, that Bill Gates got it. He got the fact that the internet is a worldwide broadcast medium. It's the ability for audio and video to be broadcast anywhere in the world over the internet. And that was due to the fact of what the Seattle company, Real, Bob Glazer was the guy's name, Real Media was able to make audio stream, because the files, the computer files for audio and video back in those days were so big that the only way that, you know, you could make it happen was download the whole file, and then you'd play it back locally. Well, streaming was the ability for enough of the front end of the file to start coming to you, and then you could listen to what was coming to you while the rest of it was being downloaded or streamed in the background. And that was the different technology that allowed audio and then ultimately video. Now, one of the reasons video was not taken seriously back in the 90s, and that, you know, people like David Letterman or everyone else said, you know, well, this is not a broadcast medium, was the fact that we mostly were on what was called dial-up connections, and video playback, even though it was possible in 98, 97, 98, because Real Media, very shortly after they built the Real Player, they made it a video player. But the video playback was so poor that nobody took it serious, especially people in broadcast. You know, it looked terrible. It was a very small screen. It was pixelated.